Hello students, welcome back to your English class. Today we will start a new chapter from your literature reader book, that is chapter number 8, Yuuki and the Tsunami. Before starting with the explanation of the chapter, let us read the preface of the chapter. About 10% of the world's active volcanoes are found in Japan. Undersea earthquakes also expose the Japanese coastline to danger from tsunamis. So Japan is very much prone to tsunamis. So there are many folklores about tsunamis in Japan. Okay, so there are many folklores about tsunamis in Japan, and one such folklore we will read today, where a boy saves all the people of his village from certain or evident death. Yuuki, who is the boy, lived with his family in the village. His grandfather, who had passed many years ago, had taught Yuuki about raising rice crops, solving disputes, and a great deal about the ways of the world. So his grandfather shared his life's experiences and shared a lot of knowledge with Yuuki, and how he could raise rice crops, solve disputes between two parties, and a great deal about the ways of the world, that is how one should lead his life or her life in this world. His grandfather was a very prominent figure of the village, as he was the village headman. Okay, who is a headman? The chief leader of a village. Now Yuuki's family cultivated the enormous fields of rice that his grandfather had passed on to them. Now Yuuki's grandfather passed on his enormous fields to his family, and now they cultivated the rice fields. Okay, Yuuki's family was Yuuki's village was nestled by the shore below a small mountain. So what is the meaning of nestled? Situated in a sheltered position by the shore below a small mountain. So it was a small village. One day Yuuki was playing on top of the small mountain. So one day, as any other days, Yuuki was playing on the top of the small mountain, and below there were preparations going on in order to celebrate a festival. So the people of the village were preparing to celebrate a festival. And what was that festival? They were to celebrate a wonderful rice crop. So they had a wonderful rice crop that year. So they were preparing to celebrate that event. Okay, and Yuuki from top of the mountain witnessed all the preparations and kept a close vigil about how the preparations were going on. Now this Yuuki, the boy, was a very nice boy who played in the village and was very much known to the people of the village. Now as we see the picture on the next page, we will see that a stormy, gusty wind is blowing, leaves are rustling and blowing here and there, they are going here and there, the sea is gushing and roaring like anything. So the situation is very strange. Okay, and there is some impending danger which this picture is projecting. Now what is that danger? Let us read on. All of a sudden, Yuuki felt an earthquake. Now suddenly Yuuki felt a tremor under his feet, and he witnessed an earthquake beneath his feet. It was not strong enough to frighten anybody. So the earthquake or the tremor was not strong enough to frighten anybody, and on top of that, as the people were busy with the preparations of the festival, so they did not pay much heed to it. But Yuuki, who had already felt dozens of such shocks, who had witnessed dozens of such shocks before, he was very much terrified by the shock, thought it was odd. Now Yuuki felt that the shock was quite odd. A long, slow, spongy motion continued. Okay, and the houses below by the sea rocked gently several times. So the houses which were down below by the sea, they rocked gently several times, and then suddenly, all of a sudden, everything went still. Okay, since the people were very much engaged with some work or the other, they couldn't notice it. Soon after, Yuuki noticed something even more strange. So soon after, Yuuki noticed something even more strange. And what was that? That was in the sea. The sea was darkening, and it darkened all of a sudden and it seemed to be rushing backward, which was an unnatural phenomena, because this type of phenomena never happened with the sea. Sea generally moves forward towards the coast, but here when Yuuki witnessed, or Yuuki looked at the sea, he saw that the sea was receding backwards with double speed. Now this was an unnatural event or unusual phenomena which was happening. The sea was actually running away from the shore very fast, leaving behind wide stretches of beach that had never been exposed before. Now what was the sea doing? The sea was receding back continuously and was leaving behind wide stretches of the beach which were never visible before. Okay, and the people could find various types of shells and everything, and the drift sand which was never seen before was quite visible to the people, and the people, as you will see in the story, they will enjoy this situation because they are not aware of the impending danger. With a gasp, or with catching his breath, Yuuki suddenly thought what was happening. And with an open mouth and owing to an astonishment, Yuuki suddenly recalled his grandfather's words. His grandfather once told him that his own father's father had told him that just before a terrible tsunami, the sea suddenly and quickly rolls backward. So his grandfather had told Yuuki how his father's father, that is grandfather's father's father, told him that just before a terrible tsunami, the sea behaves unnaturally, and this is the behavior of the sea. Now Yuuki was filled with great terror, that now he understood what was the impending danger. Yuuki, his breath heavy, ran down the mountainside. So Yuuki's breath was very much heavy and he ran down the mountainside to warn the people of the impending danger. So now he ran down the mountainside to warn the people about the impending danger or the forthcoming danger. Already many had run to the beach to witness the spectacular new stretch of ribbed sand. So many people had run to the beach to witness the spectacular new stretch of ribbed sand. Now Yuuki saw them. Yuuki warned people, get back, shouted the boy. There is a terrible danger which is coming towards them. But nobody paid heed to the boy. What are you talking about, Yuuki? Laughed one person. So one person of the village, he laughed at Yuuki and said, what are you talking about? Impending danger? What sort of danger? New stretches of land we can see in the sea beach, and there are new shells on the beach, and you are telling that there is some forthcoming danger? What are you talking? Don't think all this thing. So that person told Yuuki. Now, no, you don't understand, cried Yuuki. Now Yuuki said that you don't understand what is the danger, but I can understand it because I have heard it from my grandfather. So you must run away up to the mountain, everybody. So he told everybody to run up to the mountain as fast as they can. But no one would listen to him. That is, nobody paid heed to his words because they didn't know what was the actual situation which was going to take place. So they all laughed in his face and carried on romping. Romping means playing in a rough, excited and noisy manner. So they continued to play in the new sand and watching the sea roll backward even more. So they were very much enjoying the situation. Desperate, Yuuki could think of only one thing to do. So desperately, Yuuki could think of one thing to do. That is, suddenly an idea struck him that he lit a pine torch. That is, a torch made of pine wood. He lit it and he hurried with it to the fields. Now Yuuki hurried with the torch to the fields where rice stacks stood golden and dried in the sun. There is hundreds of rice stacks stood golden and dried in the sun. He went there. He touched the torch to the edge of each one. Now he touched the torch to the edge of each rice stack and lit those. Okay? Hurrying from one to the other as quickly as his legs could carry him. So he hurried from one to the other as quickly as his legs could carry him. Okay? Because he knew that there was very less time left. So he doubled his speed so that he can save the people of the village. The sun-dried stalks instantly caught fire or immediately caught fire. Okay, the strengthening sea breeze blew the blaze forward. So the strengthening sea breeze, it blew the blaze forward, that is moved the blaze or the flames forward speedily. Okay, soon the stacks burst into flame and Yuuki was terrified and he ran after his friends and family calling, fire, fire, everyone run to the mountain quick. So he told everyone that there is fire, fire, so everybody please run up to the mountain. Now this is the first half of the explanation of the chapter Yuuki and the Tsunami. In the next section, I will continue with the explanation of this chapter. Meanwhile, you read this chapter carefully and understand the meanings, okay? And then listen to this explanation so that the chapter can be very much clear to you. In the next session, I will continue with the rest of the chapter. Until then, everybody be safe and stay at home. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.